Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well tonight. I'm only going to be on about an hour, maybe not even that, because I'm tired. I am not a morning person, and I have to be up early every day this week. So typically, Patty's week goes like this. Sunday, my church starts at like 10:45, so I get up about 7:30, take a luxurious shower, which I love, and not really rush around, make a little breakfast, go to church, come home, sit on my ass, and then work because I usually show homes on Sunday or write an appraisal, something like that. Monday, I'm kind of like 10 a.m. I get here like 10. Well, I'm very close to the camera. Very like 10 a.m. Nice. Tuesday, I get up a little earlier and work more. Tuesday's really like the start of my week. Wednesday is radio day, typically. We won't be on the radio tomorrow because I have an appointment. And, I get up early. And then Wednesday night, I go out with friends. And it's usually after Chris goes to bed, so it doesn't really affect him. And then Thursday, I get up, go to mass, have a good day. It's a good day. We have fun where we work, so every day is really kind of good. And then Friday, I work. Usually like the Dickens. Friday is the day in real estate that everything either blows up or comes together. One of the two. There's no in between. I don't go out to lunch. It's a lot of work. I work a lot. Saturday, I work all day. And then Sunday starts again. But never really before 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So the court system doesn't understand that, They're like, let's be here at 7 a.m. for jury duty. So today I got up super early so I could get a really nice parking space next to the courthouse. I don't like parking in a parking garage for a variety of reasons. I have a big truck and I just don't like it. I'll pay extra to be on the street. So I get there, lush parking space. And then some ass jack parked me in. They parked illegally and they backed up right to next to my truck. I was like, I'll push this asshole down the hill. But I didn't. I maintained my control, got out of the space because I know how to drive, and continued on my day. But tomorrow, I have to get up early, take Chris to an orthopedic appointment. So I will not be at the courthouse in the morning. I do intend to go in the afternoon for a couple hours just to see any updates. And then Thursday, I don't know, I forget if I have something Thursday. I think depending on, I was planning on being at the courthouse all day Thursday, well, as much as I can tolerate it. If they haven't picked a jury by then, it'll be as much as I can tolerate. Because it's boring. I mean, this jury selection thing was rightfully boring. It had to be dead silent in the courthouse. You couldn't yawn without being corrected from the bailiff. So it was very, very quiet. And then I have my own jury duty on Friday. So I have to be there at the courthouse at 7 a.m. So that's that. So if you email me, text me, call me this week, next week, or the week after, be patient because I likely will not get back to you. Because when I'm done at the courthouse, we have a brokerage, a real estate brokerage. I got to come to work. So don't expect me to be chatty or want to talk because I'm very introverted and I won't. There's a lot of, when you're in the courtroom, and I didn't have, for Charlie's trial, I was new at this and I didn't have the words to describe it. Even though it's silent, it is sensory overload. And I don't know how to say that other than that. You are seated on a bench. You can't come and go as you please. You have your laptop only. You can't raise your phone. You can't text on your phone. You can't use your phone. You can't use your watch. I had my watch on, but it was off, but it was on because it would have bugged me more not to have it on. You can't drink. You can't eat. You can't open a coffee. You can't do anything. You can't leave to go get a coffee and come back. You're either in or you're out. Fair play. It's a courtroom, right? It's not my someone's trial on for the life, whether I like her or not. So, but it was sensory overload. Like when I left about 11:40. I walked out, said goodbye to people in the media access room, and then sat in my truck for 10 minutes trying to like decompress because you're like on edge. I was on edge in this courtroom. Like you have to be super quiet. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed easily tonight. Do. And then I had to work. I had to come in here and work. I had to take Chris to 2 appointments and work, and I had to show homes. So I appreciate people. I really do. I mean, it's very kind. And sending me Facebook messages and texts, but I don't mean to be rude. Just don't expect a response unless it's late at night. And if it's early in the morning, it will be completely ignored because I'm not waking up to answer texts. It is hard. I'm a night person who tries to sleep earlier in the evening so I can function during the day. And I'm not doing a good job of it. And plus, I'm very worried about my husband right now. He is really going through it. He is just now, he's in the, I would say, angry stage of grief. And if I'm not at home, he's angry. If I'm at home, he's angry. If he's just really going through it. If you don't know, he was diagnosed with dementia. It's moderate dementia per the doctor. He's in pain. They believe he has lupus. So he's in pain. He tries to pretend like he's not in pain, but he is in pain. So when I am at home, I really need to be present with him. And I hope you all understand that. It is really important for me right now to be present for him and get him through this until we can get to a real doctor or rheumatologist that can help him. And I'm still working on that. But tomorrow we go to the orthopedic because he can barely walk. His knee, I don't know if it's just regular age-related arthritis or if it is lupus, which is arthritis. It is lupus is a form of arthritis. So I just don't know until we go tomorrow and they x-ray it. But I had to get him a handicap placard so that he doesn't have to walk across the parking lot. So I don't have to worry about him wandering away from me if I drop him off, which he was doing. And he got mad at me because I got the placard. I mean, it's a big adjustment for him. So I need to be attentive and be home more than I typically would. I mean, he's not home or wasn't typically at home until now. And it's just, to me, unfair to just, when I get home, to just keep talking to other people. So I really hope you understand. And if you don't, I don't care. I don't care. I have to take care of him. I am his only caregiver. So I will be doing that. And the last thing, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I was on Roberta's chat. We were talking about the Jewish women in the culture. I got this nasty email that I'm not even opening. And it was like, she's offended because I generalized Jewish women. I spoke of my experience with Jewish women and said that it's a cultural thing. And if you've never watched TV, it is a cultural thing that I'm the boss in my house, right? I'm Irish Catholic. But it is a cultural thing, and you either get over it or get with it because it is. And I worked in a Jewish nursing home, okay? Saw it all, along with the mahjong, which I love playing, by the way. And that's not stereotypical. Older people like playing mahjong. Get over it. But if you send me an email like that, I'm not responding. I am not the Patty of 2023 when this all started with that Katie Kool-Aid thing. No, this Patty is a different Patty, and you can kiss my ass. And that's just saying nicely. If you're offended by anything I say, you just unsubscribe, okay? Numbers go up, numbers go down. I don't do this for the money. I do it because I like it. And there is not a given day in my life or your lives that I'm sure one of us hasn't You walk through the street, you're offending somebody, right? I'm sure it happens to all of you, but I will not be policed. I've never been policed, and I won't be policed now. Nothing I said was untoward, and it really wasn't even incorrect. So we've all heard Donna's conversations. We've all heard how she treated her children. That isn't incorrect. It just isn't. She was in full control of 2 children, 3 when they were younger. When she couldn't control the 3rd one, he was cast out of society. Okay. I have a Jewish stepson. I have a husband that was married for a long time to a Jewish woman who I liked her. She was very nice, but she was in charge. Like what she said went. My husband is Greek. Do you want the stereotype of that? What he says goes. So right now he's struggling with that because that is the culture he grew up in. It's not a bad thing to say that. You might think it's bad because I'm a white Catholic. I don't care. I'm still entitled to an opinion, as all are you. And I allow opinions in this chat because I think it's fun and entertaining, and I learn a lot. So as I say, remember that old thing, like, don't come at me, bro. Remember that kid was being tased? This was a long time in the United States. He was being tased in some building, and I think it was a church. I think something like that. And the police were coming and he was like, don't tase me, bro. And now I'm like, don't come at me, bro, because I don't care. I have a very sick husband. I come on YouTube a couple times a week telling me how you are offended or by me. Trust me, can I say? People are offended by my hair. They're offended by my nails. They're offended by my makeup. They're offended by the thing in the back. They're offended because I only do it here, that I don't show my car, that I don't show my house. I get it all the time. Why don't you do this, Patty? Why don't you do that? Because I don't want to. I'm almost 60. The last thing that's ever going to happen, ever again, is that I cater to the people I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, would you do that? You wouldn't do that. Your experience in life is your experience. My experience in the courtroom was, I'm sure, a little different than Rebecca's experience. The media had a different experience. We all experience life differently. And if we can't acknowledge our differences, that is a huge sign of emotional immaturity. Plus, bingo, this is the United States. This isn't Canada. This isn't Europe, where you really don't have a voice. So you may be jealous because we can say whatever we want and you can't do anything about it. I don't care. I don't care. But I'm not going to be policed. I'm going to enjoy my life. And I really do. And I mean, as sick as my husband is right now, we have fun. We have a lot of fun in this office. And I come on here when I can. I wear what I want. Most of you are super kind about it. My glasses, I wear what I can. I show documents. Some have said, you don't need to show documents, Patty, just talk. I can't just talk. Like, I'm not that good to just sit here and talk. You know what I mean? Like, I need to have a prompt or a topic to talk about. It's too hard for me. And you may not see that. You may see that. But regardless, a little bit of household cleanup in here. I will respond, but it just may take me a while. My friend Lala is helping me when she can. She works a full-time job too. But other than that, it's just Scott and me right now, and our agents have other jobs too. So I'm doing the best I can. If you want to follow me, I invite you to. If you don't, I completely understand. But understand this: sending me emails telling me how horrible my life is not going to get you anywhere. Because I'll read the subject line and then I will delete. Like, I won't even open the body. As we were talking about today, one of the reporters today, he's been invited to be on Surviving the Survivor, and he's always declining. And he says, I am paid not to have an opinion. And he goes, and I'm of an age where if I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. And I was like, good for you. I mean, if it makes him feel, and he goes, I've been on shows before. I don't sleep the night before. I'm anxious about, what do I look like? What am I wearing? What am I doing? all these people, which he's not used to, he's a newspaper guy, like judging every word I say. And I'm like, dude, you're not wrong. If you don't like doing it, don't do it. I mean, I think you'd be fabulous at it, but if it's not your comfort zone, don't do it. Don't. This is hard enough to sit here in my little office, uh, speaking off the cuff without a script. So I'm like, don't do it. Don't. So that's what I mean. We're all of an age. I think everyone in this chat is of an age where you're just like, maybe I should just not respond. Because that's probably not going to be good. So I'm not going to respond. I don't know if the person stayed or didn't go, but one of my best friends is Jewish. Now, everybody says that, but I'm helping this woman, Julie, fight this thug thief who stole $400,000 from her. I'm doing that, not because she's Jewish, but because she needs help. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, if all you identify is your faith or your race or your color or your hair or whatever your choices are, that's on you. I do not identify that way. What I do identify as a fun 58-year-old woman who is enjoying the last third of her life. And for that, I am very, very blessed. So back to you all. Let me say hi to everybody. Let me say hi to everyone. Hi, Bling. I saw you call, but I was showing homes. I'm very sorry. Thank God I'm showing homes. Like our little area is busy. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Hey, Chris. Hey, Wild Wild West. I had a good day. It was just a long day in the courtroom, not knowing what's going in the back. I have had a long day, Norma. Now, I as media had an opportunity to go back to the media room, but I was like, I know what questions they're going to ask. And I'm better served going to my home and being with my husband than I am sitting here on a bench. So I didn't go in the back. Hi, John. Hey, John, I got your email. I read it and I'm going to respond. Hi, everyone. Can't wait to hear details. Right now, I'm making a low-cal coffee with chocolate mousse. Good for you. Nice. Hey, Sheepfly, how are you? Are you coming to the courthouse, Sheepfly? If you're still on, are you going to come to the courthouse at all? Tennis is in the house. Hey, Tennis, how are you? Oh, it's really going to happen this time. It is definitely going to happen. Don't hold your breath, Tennis. Hi, Wesley. Does anyone know how many made it to Thursday's round? I don't, because I left. Aw, John. Nice. I do work hard. I will give you that. Hello, Aristotle. So if you do follow us on Facebook, I won't be on Facebook Live tomorrow because I'm going to be at the orthopedic, hopefully getting an answer from my husband. Hey, D-Love. Sorry, I have the hiccups. So this shot is giving me the hiccups. Like I have it like a 5-year-old or 5-month-old or maybe. Hey, D-Love of God, how are you? Yes, there's plenty of time to like and subscribe. Thank you, Tennis. Even after I, talked about what I can and can't handle in life. Since it's after 5 in the East Coast, you're going to have a glass of wine. Good for you. I would do that, but I'm on camera. And I've said before, I won't drink on camera. Still hot. I haven't really drank at all since I got the shot. Like I haven't even drank on Wednesdays. Still hot here in Texas, 90 degrees with an index of 100. That's why I'm moving back to Minnesota, then taking us to Texas in the winter. Has anyone heard how Susan is doing? I have not spoke to her. I do know she's on chemo. Someone told me she was craving a sub. She was craving an Italian sub. Hey. Leslie, save the bottle and come to Texas. I'm having some Leinenkugel. Right? Did I say that right? Leinenkugel. Summer shandy. Wish I were in Napa. Right? I hope Hey Jude comes back soon. Hey, Wesley. Hi, Georgia Peach. You coming? You going to the courthouse? Raven, nice to see you. Hey, Margaret. Hi, everyone. Hi, AJ Mama. Hello, how are you? How you doing? Wasn't feeling great after the chemo. I bet. Hey, Frenchie. Very nice of you to join me. So I'm going to talk to you in a minute. I'll say hi to everybody, and then I'll talk to you about the courtroom. Patty, we need to meet for micro lunch or brunch or dinner anytime. Do you have my cell? Because I don't go on. I know people do. I'm just not good at it. Facebook message, I got to tell you, of all the ways to contact me, I despise it. I despise it. Like, I don't mind my kids, my grandkids will call me through FaceTime, but to just message back and forth on Messenger, I hate it. I know some people are out of the country and it's just easier, but it is the last thing I check during the day. So if you want a quick response, that's not it. Wesley says he had my last ever oncology appointment yesterday, and you're officially C-free. I hope the same for Sweet Susan. Me too. Hi, Murder. How are you? How's it going? Make sure you thank Roberta for letting me hide out in her chat. Patty, good early evening, dear. Your hair is still intact. It is a little flatter. It's a little flatter on top, but this was a little poofier. It was a little higher. The jury selection is uneventful. It really is, which I felt like I could just go home. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to just have food because I didn't eat since early afternoon yesterday. Needed to eat and get my ass off that bench. And I did go to the chiropractor. So I felt like a new woman after 3:30. 64 jurors return on Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you for that. I wasn't sure if I was going to go Thursday. I'm definitely going Thursday now. There's that many. That's a good day. That is a really good day. You're crocheting the 6 baby blankets, dude. Ooh, November is. Somebody had a really good March. Someone had a great March. Same. Hey, Murder, how are you? Just answer me. There's no way Harvey will be able to sit there all day and not. Oh my God. He is just better off watching in the hotel room or the Airbnb or wherever he's going to be. It is hard. So the rules now are more strict than the rules for Charlie's. For sure. For sure. It's going to be tough. They're having a ton of bailiffs in the room. John Smith, I sent one. Norma, she'll probably play it after verdicts. Good evening, moderator, says Jab. No booze for me today. I might have something when I go home. I have some lemonade vodka that I don't even know how old it is. Harvey is a little fart. You know my mother, of all the swearing I ever did, you could not say the F word in her house. She did not like it, but it was very funny. Hey, Tinfoil Hat Society. Thank you for helping today. Like, you kept me in line. Thank you for that. A little puff of dust. Harvey was not there. He was not present. Not for me, not during my time. He wouldn't have done anything. So let me go through this. Let me get through everybody's hi. Hey, Lori. Donna looked like she was trying to be preppy. She looked messy. Donna looked rough. I didn't expect a fancy lady, but ponytail, I know, kosher. Harvey in the courtroom with Depends and 90 Degrees and his old man sneakers. Hey, Lori. Harvey is so creepy. Donna looks homeless. Well, so did a lot of the jury. It's like I listen to court as I work all day. No farting in court. It's contempt. So someone said Harvey was outside the courtroom, Patty. I didn't see him outside the courtroom. Mm-mm. He was outside the courtroom yesterday and inside the courtroom, but he was not outside the courtroom today. So Donna's look is matronly victim. Yeah, her clothes did not fit. He's wearing Depends. Thanks, Agent 47. Beach Bum so far is not here. She is not here. The one day Patty doesn't go will be the day Harvey blows his top. I know. Friday. How much you want to bet? Donna looks so Midwestern grandma. I saw that, Debbie. Debbie saying, I told people about Wendy's dress that she found at the Zimmerman's in the mall in South Florida. Jackie's shirt was wrinkled. Like, come on, lady. Hey, Patty, coming to the trial on Monday from Maryland and staying for a week. I'm so excited. I'd love to say hi to you. I'll be the one lining them outside 5 a.m. each day. Well, the courthouse doesn't open till 8, so you'll be out there all by yourself. You'll be out there all by yourself. But you'll be able to recognize me, Maureen. I'm the one with the hair. My mother was telling me that her Jewish wedding was not kosher. Kosher light. Dude, I love kosher food. So my friend Julie, who's Jewish, she goes to the temple that Dan went to. She's Israeli. Like, she's super Jew. Super duper. Lovely lady. She said, Patty, they had an open house on Saturday. Why didn't you go? Because, Julie, you didn't invite me. I didn't know about an open house on Saturday. I'd have been over there in a 5-minute period. She's like, Patty, we had a buffet. She's like, Patty, why weren't you there? I have to get on their text exchange. I really do. I hope this week goes by as fast as the last few have. Mm-hmm. You would think there's not enough room in the courtroom. We'll talk about that. You live in Indian River County and no one has heard about the Adelsons. Oh my God. Are you serious? It's been a year. Man, have I changed. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. A year. Let me see. Yeah, I guess so. Because I started this channel shortly after he was convicted, right? So it'll be 2 years in November. I think Patty plans on being in Roberta Glass chat and maybe calling in there and doing a wrap-up show most days. Accurate. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. You are getting up there, Melissa. Thank you for being a member. This is crazy. Thank you so much. 12 months to bling. Oh my God. It's crazy. Not quite an OG, but very close. You're an OG in my world. I'm so close to saying your real name. Wow. Yeah, they cannot have they do not eat meat and cheese together. And that was the thing with Dan and Wendy was she would feed the kids cheeseburgers. Kosher style does not exist. I had to leave STF. Tim is on the panel. I just can't. He was not in the courtroom either. So he wasn't in the courtroom. Your house is kosher. Oh, man. I have questions. I have so many questions about your kitchen setup, how you found a house, how you did that. I have so many questions, Melissa. If you're ever in the mood to just, like after this trial's on, to talk to me about that. Yeah. I think she was wearing the same thing last November, I think. Will you be doing debriefing videos once? Yes, I will. I am not streaming the trial. So I approached Roberta Glass, True Crime Report, about being in her chat and kind of updating that chat. I get along really well with her. Other people have allowed me, the docket has allowed me, but I just feel more, I just know her better and I just felt more comfortable. So it was me. And I asked her and she said yes. So it was very nice of her to let me just ramble on in our chat, right? So that's what I did. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really do have. See, but how do you find a house like that? Or do you have to like tear apart the house? You've done a few kosher kitchens. Like, how do you do that? I have, we have several Indian realtors that work with us, and I understand feng shui. I studied feng shui before, well, when I was a new realtor, because we have a large Asian population. And yes, I'm saying Asian population because they're actually from the continent of Asia. Okay. So I'm just being sarcastic at this point. But Indian, Chinese, we have a large Bulgaria, Russia. We have a very large ethnic community because we're in a college town. So I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? So I had to learn feng shui. If I was going to get that population to work with me, I had to understand what they wanted in a home, and so I did. And when I talk to people about how long they're going to keep their home, like the couple I was showing homes this week, they are only going to be in this house for 3 years before they go back to likely Italy. That's where they're from. And I was like, you pick this house, not this house. And she was like, why? I said, because feng shui, it faces the northeast. The master bedroom faces the southwest. It's on the, the right side of the house. This staircase doesn't enter through the front door. Like, you don't open the door and the staircase is there because, as we know, is feng shui, all the good juju enters, leaves your home. It was the color of the door. It was just, this whole thing was very feng shui laid out. And I said, you don't want to be on the other side of the street. So if you want in 3 years to sell your home, you want the home to be laid out for the most number of people that would be willing to buy it. If the Asian population, Indian or Chinese, is like, I'm not facing that direction, you shouldn't even and you're leaving in 3 years, why would you do that? So you just need the population that is going to, like, my job, I tell people, is to give them the most bats. Like, I want to give you the most opportunities for the house. And if you have 2 houses across the street from each other and they're the same price, you pick the one that faces the northeast every time. So that's just me. By the way, I got FSU in our family draft. Figured I could watch Tallahassee trial during the week and Seminoles on Saturday. Good for you, Lori. I wish you well. I wish you well. Area I live in, west side of LA, 75% of the neighborhood have mezuzahs on their door. Jews live there. Interesting. 2 ovens, also separate cooking utensils. I did know that. And I knew the 2 sinks. I just don't know how it's laid out. If you buy an existing home. Just don't know. Try eggnog with frangelica and heat it. Yeah, that's never happened. I like frangelica, but I do not like eggnog. I don't. It's never happened. Like, if the eggnog didn't taste like eggnog, I'd be okay. Like a milkshake, I'm in. But not eggnog. You have to have 2 sinks and 2 refrigerators. One of the neighbors in Connecticut had 2 huge Sub-Zeros and 2 sinks. It's a really nice kitchen. She may have had 2 stoves. That is badass. I mean, you have to have money to be kosher, right? I've watched remodeling shows doing a dual kitchen for a Jewish family. I gotta look that up. They won't buy. Oh yeah, very serious. The numbers on the house are very serious. Yeah. If you have an existing kitchen, you start over for a kosher kitchen. That makes sense. And yes, you saw Donna's kitchen, the old house, and the current. It's not kosher. Kosher meat is triple what you pay. The one thing when I put out on Living Tallahassee, if we could have one restaurant that we don't have any sort of it, it's not like a cheesecake. Everybody says a Jewish deli. Everybody says it. So good. You just can't get it here. You need a rabbi that does remodel. Donna is Jew-ish. Oh, she's ish Jew? That's funny. Yeah, I bet it was a nice neighborhood, tinfoil. Oh, you learned it when you were selling a house near a bridge with a 1424. So if anyone is in sales, I don't think I have that. I think I lent it out. But there's a book called Kiss, Bow, and Shake Hands. And that book really saved my career in real estate because I learned who's naturally going to be late, who wants to be on one side of the street versus the other side of the street, where the master bedroom is, where the bathrooms have to be laid out, what has to be in the bathrooms. I guarantee you, if I had not read that book, I would have been out of real estate in the 3 years. This town is too eclectic to not know what you need to know. And I think nowadays people are afraid to ask those questions. It is the first thing I ask. I don't care what color skin you have. Do you have any cultural challenges when you see a home that you need certain specific items in a home before you buy it? I don't think that's a hard question. But people don't ask. I had to train all the Indians to say it, let alone because it is. And then the other question I ask them is, do you have a piece of furniture that you need to have in a house and the room has to fit the furniture? And I learned that from a couple. Her father had built them a dining room set. It was 9 feet and it was one piece. So you couldn't take it apart. So it was more narrow, but it was absolutely long. And I had to find a dining room that fit that. There wasn't even a point showing a home if the dining room didn't fit that piece of furniture. So I always ask for that. And then I always ask for, especially if they're moving from out of town and I can't figure out what their house looked like, photos of their stuff in their home. Because my testimony says people's tastes do not change. And that it's like versus like, I don't care what happens. They could be living on the beach, but if they had old Victorian furniture in another home, they're going to have their old Victorian furniture in the new home too. So I always ask that question. But culture, the room sizes, and a specific piece of furniture, and then I want to see what your house looked like. That same couple with the 9-foot dining room table that did not have leaves, did not come apart. Their house in New Jersey had a red dining room, and I could not figure out them until I asked that question, and it was, decades ago now. And the house they bought had a red dining room big enough to fit that table. And it just worked because other things can change. The table wasn't going to change. Their cultural challenges weren't going to change. Challenges in finding a home in Tallahassee, Florida, when there's not a lot of homes for sale. That's what I mean. You got to find a home to fit your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is not changing. So that's how we did it. And it was really, I'm telling you, the smartest thing I ever did was buy that damn book. Your God loves my God does too. I really wanted shrimp fried rice today, but I didn't go get it. You are vegetarian, so you only need one kitchen. I don't need a kitchen. You know what I need? An air fryer. That's all I need. One place I found culturally rich, like mini San Francisco, is Portland, Maine. Such fine food. Hello, Mainers. I loved it there. And now the snow. Oh, yeah, but I bet it's beautiful. I really want to go. I don't have very many like bucket list kind of things, but Maine is one of them. If you cook meat in an oven, you must wait 24 hours before cooking dairy because God knows time. Unless it was covered with foil, then no need to wait because God does love foil. I don't know if God loves foil, but Patty sure does. I do go through a lot. He's killing me. 9 feet, one piece. Better have French doors bring it in. You have to raise the roof, right? I mean, it had all of that. So I felt, as a newer agent, I felt like I won the lottery when I learned those questions. 3 questions, perfect. Time was invented, so everything doesn't happen at once. You love your Ninja air fryer. Ooh, Patty is live. Bye. Okay. Bye. I love pork fried rice. I do too. This place, if you're in Tallahassee, let me pitch them. They're fabulous in the Southwood area. It's called Hasu, Hasu. They're a Chinese family who cooks Japanese and does it very well. Very, very good. And it's reasonable. It's not like you go to one of those family hibachi places and they're like doing a show. No, it's just excellent food. I'm making you hungry. Sorry, bye. By the way, my husband was brought up this way. We only do it for this family. When they come over, they can eat in our home. Oh, good for you. No shellfish, no fish without scales, no pork. Well, and when you think about it, if you study the Bible, there's a reason why. It was just cleanliness. Yeah. Get them out. You can get them out. I don't care. You love meat, it no longer loves you. I do. I thought about going carnivore just to lose more weight, but I can't. I'm giving up too much already. You made shrimp with honey and butter and garlic with steamed broccoli. Nice for you today, Jenny. How are you doing? If a tiny amount of forbidden food gets mixed, it's less. Oh, I don't even know. I don't know enough about it. We have a lot of family. My husband, us, oldest of 10. My kids have 38 first cousins. Oh, I have that. My dad was the oldest of 10. My dad was the oldest of 10. Like one of his sisters, the oldest sister now living, she's 84 years old. She had 7 girls. 7 girls. They had like a Cape Cod. And so the second floor was just one big open bunk room and only one bathroom. And she still lives in that house. One bathroom. The men and Maine are much too beautiful for words. Ooh. Good for you, Jab. It was about not boiling a baby cow in mother's milk. Okay, well, the pagans were doing that. Oh my. Oh. Your husband's grilling fillets. She could request it, but then she's going to eat a peanut butter sandwich every day. Made homemade meatball subs with melted cheese. Good for you. Debbie, Gibby, nobody cares. Oh, who are these people? I'm banning people. Like I said, I'm just not in the mood. So, don't worry about it. I banned her. Pink Bow. I don't even know what it is. You've been Mad Rabbit. I've been carnivore since January this year. Brought my A1C down to normal and lost 15 pounds. You still have a sweet tooth, but you could have. I was reading. I have a carnivore Facebook group while deciding if I was going to be carnivore, which I'm not going to be carnivore because I like corn. And they have a carnivore cheesecake recipe. I don't know how you make the crust though. I think that seems odd. I'm banning these people, so don't worry about it if it's rude or not. They're gone. Who doesn't need more food rolls? I don't. You can get kosher. Do you want to know what's in a kosher food? Like, you're not getting. Let me tell you. It's not going to be good. Let's see. The inmate menus in the Florida Department of Corrections. Trying to find the queue. Hold on. Bad list. I found the full menu. Since 2016, they had kosher. I'm trying to find a list of what kosher foods are available. It just says kosher meals are available to anybody who requests it. They only started adding it in 2016, but I don't. Trying to find a list. I have the master menu, but I don't. Like, I know they have beans, yum, dried beans. I thought I found this before, but I don't see it on here. It says the canteen. Oh, here's the food option menu. Peanut butter, cereal, bread, jelly, margarine, coffee, sugar, 1 pack of breakfast beverage. That's what I thought. They're not getting tuna, beans, carrot sticks, margarine, mustard, beverage salt. It's very basic, but no sausage patties. Am I looking for Orthodox kosher? No, I was looking on the prison menu, Florida Corrections. This is the religious diet option. Let me share it with you. Not the lobster. Or pastrami, for God's sakes. Let me show you. So you can just see Monday. This is 2024. Peanut butter, cold cereal, bread, jelly, margarine, coffee, breakfast beverage. Doesn't say what the beverage is, does it? Black-eyed peas, I would vomit. Cabbage, I love it. Dressing, bread, margarine. That's why you gain so much weight. Mackerel, beans, canned, carrot sticks, saltine. Hey, you know how you get out of this problem? You don't commit murder. I guess there is that. All I know is homemade Jewish chopped liver. I've been lucky to work for a few Jewish families who had moms and grandmas who would make it and bring it to work. I love it. Love it. Oh, true crime. Thank you so much. Thank you. You wanted to see where the idiot was going with that. How are you doing, Jibs? How's life? Oh, Natasha. Bye-bye. I blocked more people this week than I blocked ever. They're paid by... Do you know what I call her at home? Fancy fellatio. I don't know why I thought of that the other day. I was talking to Chris about something. I was like, yeah, it's fancy fellatio. Don't worry about it. I find kosher food a bit on the bland side. It's rather a traditional approach, which is good. I like tradition. I do too. Life is treating me like a pair of dirty underwear. I'm so sorry. Are you still at your same gig? Jenny says, a lot of doctor appointments and a lot of moodiness. Hope you're doing well. I'm working on it. Working on it. Ooh, my son was in a Jewish preschool and they had to inspect his food every day because the meat had to be kosher. He had a lot of soy products and they still took his food. What? I'd be pissed off. So I don't think we have. So the temple that Julie's at is conservative. But the other one that has a Jewish preschool, which is in demand by everybody, doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, that is not. That's reformed, I guess. See, I love a good chopped liver. I do love it. I don't know. They're just showing up. Eric says, time for Jibs to go commando, which if you're new to this chat means no underwear. You don't have to worry about it. When Abraham served 3 angels, he gave them meat and butter, something you can't eat. Oh. I got to get a book about that because that's fascinating. Jibs, you need a vacation. That's why she's in here, Wybie. Oh, did ya? Jab. Jab, jab, jab. I swear a lot. I just want you to know. I just said fancy fellatio. So there is that. My kids were at JCC for preschool and they used to sing happy birthday. Aww. How beautiful. Hello, Roberta. I spent a lot of time today in her chat. They were all very, very, very helpful to me. And it was, they asked great questions. It was a good chat. I really appreciated it. Kept the time moving. Because without that chat, I would have gone home by 9:30. No lie. I would have died. You going back tomorrow for a quick check-in? I'm going tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to spend the morning with Chris. I'm going to do some work, taking him to the doctor, and then I'm going to go in. Speaking of fancy, did you know that the character name Han Solo is a reference to wanking? Oh, it's hilarious. Thank you, Eric. Hey, Jibs. I love your community. I can always get a good laugh. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's very kind to hear. We don't really have a lot of trolls, but we've had quite a few today. Mm-hmm. The prison menu looks unappealing. So this would have been Patty. Patty would have had the mackerel and put the mustard on the mackerel because I like the sardines and mustard too. And then put that on a cocktail and then probably have my toilet wine because that's what I've been going for. Yeah, we've had a lot of trolls. Oh, Matt Wabbit loves your channel too. So let me tell you what happened today. And then I got to go because it's 7:52. So I got there early because I always do. And I was talking to the media people, which is you go into these big, heavy double doors on 3G. And then there's like a little tiny room, like small. And then there's another set of double doors that go into the courtroom. On to the left side, as you're facing these doors, is the media room, which is, 12 times bigger than the one at Judge Everett's courtroom. And all the equipment was already installed and tested out from yesterday. And so there were a couple guys there and we were just yucking it up. And then it was time to go in. They opened up the doors. We all scurry in. We sat on the right side and bailiffs politely told us, no, you need to sit because that's where the jury's going to be. So we all moved to the left in the back. Donna was already seated. She did not have shackles on, by the way. She was hobbling, but I personally believe it was fake because I've seen her in shackles walk quickly without hobbling. So I think the hobbling is a fake thing that she's doing, and she will likely forget it. So the last hearing or 2 hearings ago when we were in the smaller courtroom, she walked right out. I was like, oh, she forgot to hobble. She was shackled too. So don't believe the hobbling. Don't believe it for 1 second. And they were like all helping her out. She's just a bitch. And that's all I have to say. So she was already seated. Zellman was at the desk. She was in between Zellman, and then Jackie Fulford, who doesn't have cancer, was at the desk. And then the paralegals were kind of, one was seated next to Donna, and then there was another more, younger looking paralegal who looked a little bookish. She had Harry Potter glasses on. She was seated perpendicular to the desk. So they figured that out. Thank God, because that was very stressful. Georgia was in a beautiful cream colored plaid suit, like beautiful. I don't know where she gets her clothes, but they're beautiful. And Sarah Catherine, I didn't really see what she had on today. She only stood up for a minute, but I didn't really notice it. Pool camera, which today was WCTV. The pool camera starting opening statements will be Court TV. So they will have the pool. Pool photographer didn't have to be there all day today, so she came in late. And that's when you got the photo of the courtroom. Let me see if I can pull that up. Photo of the jury room. Let me go to the Democrat. Now that I'm a paid subscriber again, which I didn't really want to do, but I did it because it was $1 and I could deal with it, right? Let me see if I can get that jury room photo. These pop-ups are probably going to kill me. I don't even know how to get them out. I just don't even know what to do. There's just got to be a better way to live with these things, right? I mean, there's literally a pop-up with sweet Judge Everett's face on it, but I don't want to watch that. There's the close. Okay. I just reduced the size of my thing. Let me show you this website. So there's Everett at some point talking about something. So again, the photographer is Alicia Devine, and she is fabulous. This is in the jury room, right? So she's in some sort of shirt. Let me look it up. She can only drink water. She's not allowed to drink anything else. They can't hand her anything. They can't hand her gum or a cough drop or anything. They can't hand her anything. That's Jackie Fulford, if you don't know. These books are all of their books. These are written instructions to the jurors that were pre-written. And then that's the bailiff's phone number right there. If the jurors have any issues, that's the bailiff's number. Zellman today. She was only back in that jury room for probably a half hour, 20 minutes, something like that. So she's just wearing like a cotton polyester blouse. It does look new, but clearly the collar is not something she cared about, nor the sweater, nor her hair, nor anything. But unless she's got some hidden earwax, she looks clear. So this is in the beginning. That's Georgia, and that's Sarah Catherine. So when I was getting in the elevator to go up to the 3rd floor, Zellman and Fulford were opposite of me, and they just smiled. I was like, hi. Which I'm polite. No problem. She is taking this seriously. I will give her that. So this occurred when so they bring in 50. The judge asked them all the questions again. Are you over 70? Are you a recent mom? That's a new statute to be removed from jury duty or get your free jail card out, so to speak. Are you caregiver, like a 100% caregiver for somebody who cannot do for themselves? Are you a full-time student? A couple people, I think there were 6 from those general questions asked before Judge Everett. They had to stand up in line and they had to go before the bench and explain their case. And then the judge excused every single one of them. So out of the 50, there were 44. They all have a placard. They had like a card on it with a number and like on a popsicle stick, and it was glued to it. And so if they had to leave to go to the restroom, they had to put the placard down in front of the bailiff and then come back. So 44, 14 in the first box, in the actual juror box. So there's going to be 12 actual jurors with 3 alternates. And the remaining were sitting to the right side of us. I tried to observe them, see what they were doing. For the most part, the first 2 hours, they paid attention. They were on their phone. They provided like travel magazines, or they had like approved reading material. A few people brought in books that were obviously fiction books that didn't, had nothing to do with crime. They were reading their books. And some of them were just staring ahead like this, which is basically what I was doing. You just stare ahead, and I was chatting with you all, of course. And then I would just occasionally, I would close I moved up a couple rows because I was trying to consider, was I going to go into the media room? Was I not? And then I was like, Patty, you just need to go be a wife. So I closed my laptop because I didn't want the people behind me to kind of see. I don't know if they could see, but I didn't want them to see to the right where I was chatting with you guys. So she did look serious. She looks to me, she looked very tired. Yeah, I think she looked very, very, very tired. So the first group, they worked through those people. I think there were 7 left that they got rid of a few. They moved into the first few rows of the jury gallery on the right, and then the next 14 moved up to the box. Out of that second group of 14, there were quite a few excused. And you could hear like a gasp out of the jurors. They were like, man. So I don't know what they wanted or thought in their brain. Of course, I have no idea. But there were a couple moans through that people were being excused rather rapidly. They asked everybody the same question. How much do you know about the case? That kind of thing. That's it. So I was there through most of the second one, and that's when I left. But when I was leaving, I was going down the elevator. There was a gentleman in the elevator that I recognized as a juror, a potential juror, not a juror, right? So I recognized him. I didn't say anything to him. He said something to me. He asked me what I was doing in the courtroom. I recognized you from being in the courtroom, and I recognized him. And I said, well, were you excused? Because I didn't want to talk to him or gauge a conversation if he hadn't been excused. He said, yes, I was excused. And I said, his name is Chris, 57-year-old white male. I said, why were you excused? And he said, I have a 3-year-old daughter. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and we're going on vacation next week. He goes, man, I wish we had more notice. I said, well, tell me, sir, how much do you know about the case? He goes, I know nothing. I said, you know nothing. And that's when I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 57. I used to be in information management, but I left that, several years ago. And now I'm a stay-at-home dad with my little 3-year-old. I said, well, good for you. He goes, and I knew when I left information management, I wasn't going to turn the computer on if I didn't absolutely have to. And I was like, Good for you again. So he heard 2 days ago on our local NPR station, which is called WFSU. He heard about the case. He said he knew an attorney was shot like years ago. And he had no idea. He just heard about it and it just didn't really consider it much. He told me that was his word. I just didn't consider it. I didn't know that this was the case that I would be on, which is, I thought, a big inference to not know that, but okay. Because he's not invested, he's taking care of his 3-year-old kid. He lives up in Miccosukee, and he said they live on 6 acres. He said, I don't watch TV. I listen to the radio. We play, and that's that. I was like, for you. So he asked me questions. He's like, what do you do? I told him what I did, but I said, I'm very interested in the trial. Have been since the beginning. And I thought, man, it's a shame that he goes, well, I just can't put the child in daycare, which is right. He goes, but man, if I'd had more time, I said, you would have been a perfect juror because you knew nothing. What he tells me. I said, well, I have a YouTube channel. And he goes, YouTube? He goes, I've heard of YouTube. I said, dude, you were in information management. You weren't in a hovel. Like, I'm joking with him out in the street. And he's like, yeah. He goes, but it's just not a thing for me. And I was like, okay. He goes, he didn't ask me what my YouTube channel was. He didn't ask me what it was about. He didn't ask me anything. So it was very interesting that he literally was stating to me he knew nothing and got off the jury because he's a stay-at-home dad living on 6 acres out in Miccosukee, which is very rural Leon County. But I just thought that was really interesting. Oh, Jibs, I'm so happy we provide you with joy. Very cool. Kristen, I'll be back. I have to do work with Byron Katie. WFSU. WFSU. It's our local NPR, and it is crunchy. Super crunchy. Like super liberal crunchy. Crunchy. Organic crunch. Crunchy, crunchy. Birkenstock crunch. I didn't ask him where the mom was. No. Didn't ask. Is he single? You don't even look anymore? He was like a mid-sized guy. He was shorter than me. He wore a cardigan, striped, like he'd been a professor is what he kind of looked like to me. So when he said he was in information management, I'm like, you couldn't have been happy. He just didn't even look like he was a techie guy. Oh, that's nice, Wesley. The new mom exception, they didn't mention breastfeeding. Hold on. It was the first time I'd heard about it. Oh, I put my jury card in my truck. My jury card is in the in Florida, new mothers can be excused from jury duty if they've given birth within 6 months prior to the reporting date on the jury summons. It's a new provision effective July 1st, 2024 that allows a woman to request to be excused, and they'll ask for a copy of the birth certificate, but I didn't see any of that happening. Nobody left because of that. A woman, I told you in the Roberta's chat, a woman had a cane. I'm like, there's no way she can sit here for like that. And she was gone. She was the fastest in and out. Boom, boom. If you're breastfeeding, you can't be on a jury. Ooh, being so afraid of Latin Kings, why did they give Wendy instructions to sell Harvey's gun? That's a great question, Janine. You stopped listening to WFSU 7 years ago. I've never listened to it. So, never listened to it. There were few jurors from Charlie's trial that knew nothing but couldn't serve. So when I went down, like me, I forget things now lately. I just get so much in my brain. So I had to go back upstairs and get my Stanley, my pink Stanley cup, which my lemonade was in. Come back down, and Gary Bartlett, who was a local real estate agent, he used to be on the news. He used to be an anchor. Real handsome guy. He was on Charlie's. He was in the Charlie jury pool. So he was standing, talking to the sheriff deputy as I'm leaving. And he's like, hey, Patty. I'm like, hey, Gary. I'm like, how are you? And then I recalled he'd been on the jury, the jury pool last Charlie trial. And he goes, man, that was so intimidating. It was just a lot. He goes, here you are. You walk up, you see the judge, he's a big guy, and they're asking you questions. And he goes, you just have to be honest, but you're just kind of stunned by the questions. They're kind of personal. And it's a lot. And so I forget why he was off, like he was dismissed. I'd have to go back in the transcript for Charlie, but it's in there. But he was dismissed from it, and he goes, it was really interesting, and I didn't get selected, and I'm glad. Super nice guy, but he used to be on TV here for years and years and years. What are you talking about, Wesley, with a boob job? Like, what is going on? Yeah, that's right. Mia, I know. They immediately moved Wendy and the boys to the location of the Latin Kings rather than further away. They moved them to the direct proximity. It's so stupid. Patty, I said earlier today, it doesn't matter what murder switch wears. She can play the geriatric card. People will see her for what she is, a conniving, overbearing, insufferable witch. Wait till the emails come in. That's going to be the... Breastfeeding can be stressful to new moms. Pumping is not an alternative option, not in a jury. So my daughter-in-law, he was born May 20th, and she wears I've never seen such a gadget, but she puts him in her bra and does the job for her. I'm like, ooh. 57 with a 3-year-old is hard to wrap my mind around. Well, they could have adopted. She could be much younger. There's a lot of things. I hope the tally jury is better than the Karen Reed jury. Well, let's just say when they walked in, there were very few people dressed like they were going to court today. Very few. When the first few walked in, the first section, it was mostly male. I was like, whoa. I actually said it out loud, and Rebecca could hear me. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of guys. But when it all settled down, that first group, 4 men, 4 women, stayed back. So we'll see. Jury selection is best when Patty reads the transcript. Thank you for that. I love doing that. Here's that. A transcript came out today, but I'm not going to have time to do it today. But this transcript came out, true crime. Remember when that heifer went to court February 26th and wanted bail? Remember that? This just was published today. I don't know why, but it was published today. And they talked to her about the phone call in her house. Defense would call Miss Adelson, please come up to the witness stand. Donna was called as a witness, having been first duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. You might take a seat. So it goes on. She talks about Harvey was in the room, friends of hers, her attorney. She has all these attorneys, right? Susan Brotman, her husband, Richard Chagrin. You said your attorney, what kind of law? This was a great question. She does estate planning. Brotman present at your apartment for the purposes of providing you with the legal counsel? Yes, she was. And do you remember receiving a call from Charlie? Yes, I do. So this is the call where she forgot to hang up. So he was in a room by himself. It was after the conviction. He was in jail. And you heard the recording that we played early? Yes. And you agreed for your call with your son to be recorded? Yes. As the call was happening, do you know at the point Charlie was no longer on the call? No. Only when I was talking, and then all of a sudden I asked him something, and I said, Charlie, do you hear me? Charlie. And I said it a few times, and he didn't respond anymore, and I knew the call was over. Now, in the course, during the time that your son was incarcerated in Leon County Jail, did that happen more than, was that a frequent occurrence? Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. She goes on and on and on. Now, with the same call on November 8th of 2023, the one at 6:30 in the morning, do you know at what point your son was no longer on the phone? I don't remember the call. In either of these situations, or in both of these situations, did you believe the call was over? Yeah, the call was over. He was gone and you went about your business. Yeah. I love this call so much. So Zellman's like, just a moment, Your Honor. Whatever. I don't even know what they're talking about. Your attorney? No, he's not an attorney. This is when they lost any attorney-client privilege because the husband of attorney Brotman is not an attorney. So you lose, not an attorney or a judge, people, right? But you lose attorney-client privilege when you have non-attorneys in the room and not your husband. So that's why she lost the attorney-client privilege argument. If you did not want to accept that recorded call, should you hang up? If you do not, yeah. No, I accepted the call. And you typically do hang up on your calls. You said after, I think I do. Yeah. Your calls with Charlie Adelson when he was in custody. All right. In this particular call that day, evidently you did not properly hang up, right? Evidently. And have you forgotten to press the button on the call? It may have happened. I don't know. I just think this is comical that they thought that they were going to break this issue with attorney-client privilege, and the husband is not an attorney and not her attorney. So funny. So the call ended with Charlie hanging up, but calls are recorded. Ms. Adelson, at the commencement of the hearing on the motion to suppress, you said your name for the record. Can you tell the court how many times you arrested the charges that are pending in this case? Have you ever been arrested? Who cares? Who gives a shit how many times? God. I think this is the one where she was whining about being touched, right? Yeah. She had a sciatic issue. This is her bail call. Medical staff. What happens when you request treatment and you don't get to see them? Usually I wait a week, and if I don't hear anything, then I'll write another one, and I'll write this is the second request, or this is the third request. And then I think they said, I think I got an answer. You sometimes just answer it and give it to the pod officer, and she'll hand out papers at night, which is the response to the request. Got her back, getting an extra mattress. I'll have to do this another time. So comical. And it's interesting that it came out today. Hi, Rebecca, my little bench partner. $10,000 square feet with a huge dining room. Goodness gracious. Somebody has to clean that. I didn't know you were on. Well, I'm sorry. I put it up there. What time did I put it up there? Oh, now there's 400 people and I need to go. 400 people in the chat. I don't know why she thought she could break that suppression with. I don't know a lot, but I know attorney-client privilege when I read it. And that wasn't it. You're in your own home. You left your phone on for it to record. You got, the wife's boyfriend, friend boy. It's not attorney-client privilege. That is a lot of bathrooms to clean, 10 brooms. So I think she looks stressed today. I'm very surprised by her stressed out look, to be honest with you. But I'm not on trial for the murder of my son-in-law, so there is that. I think she looks like shit. Is this the only photos there? I know this is Jeff's. Go back. Yeah, this is it. I didn't see the big. Someone sent me the big room table photo, but I don't see it in here. Just that one where they're all lined up. I was going to point out the paralegal to you. Like, why is that paralegal not freaking combed her hair? She was rubbing her back. Oh my God. Rebecca, did you see that? Did you see her rubbing her back? I was like, why are you rubbing her back? She was like rubbing her neck and rubbing her hair. So thanks for reminding me. Someone said it's YouTube doesn't count your thumbs up if it's, we won't know what she's saying. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you very much. Very nice. Clicked at beginning, so I end up forgetting at times. Oh, if it's clicked in the beginning, they don't count it? No laugh lines on that face. No, there's not. Let's see if I can get, someone sent it to me. I think it was Debbie. I don't get it. Yeah, hold on one second. Oh, no, it's just that one. It's not the big one. There was a, oh, here it is. I want to see that one. Hold on. This is the big table. Where you can see the paralegal. This was screenshot from Surviving the Survivor. If you're just tuning in, I pull up a lot on the fly, like a lot. Hi, Patty N. How are you? Aw, thanks, True Crime Wifey. You're very generous. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Let me show this photo. So, Judge Everett, we know, right? This is the today's court reporter. So they go in and out, like they take turns. They're not there every day, all day. This is the paralegal that was rubbing Donna. I don't know why. Jackie Fulford, Zellman, Georgia, and Sarah Catherine. She usually wears a jacket, and Sarah Catherine usually wears a jacket, and she cuffs it. She wears a big, she's very slight, very, very slight. So that's what happened, and I guess that's the list of the jurors, which I'm going to block out. And I was told that they get a list of the names and their addresses. So a friend of mine was on, she had a civil suit, and she had a civil trial. So there was a civil jury pool. And in her case, it was a home issue. So so her attorneys had the whole list, and she went through the addresses of homes that were similar, because she knows the homes in their area. She was a vendor that she might have worked on or knew about. So she went through those first. Didn't necessarily know the juror, but wanted to know. Then they went through every name that she might recognize, so that could be pointed out. And that's how they eliminate it. So they get a whole list of all the 300, and they bring them in, and then they can kind of tell where they live and what they do. And they eliminate that way. Hi, Demira. How are you? What time should we arrive at the courthouse to attend the trial in the morning? So I asked the security bailiffs, the deputies stand at the metal detector. They said the courthouse opens at 8. So I didn't walk up there till 8. Now, let's talk about how the jury room is set up. Let's see if I can find, if you're coming here, what that looks like. So you can going to be tough. I'm not going to lie about it. So let me show you this picture. And I think kind of. Oh, okay. This is day one. WCTV. This was Charlie's. So let me show you this photo. So they are facing the gallery. So this is the defense side. This is the prosecution side. There's always a bench there where paralegals are sit, or there's this extra stuff. Like Jason Newland, who's the state investigator, he'll sit up here. I don't know who sits up there for them. I didn't really remember it. This is a very thick gateway. Okay, so the gallery's back here, and the first bench is right here. And then this is the gate. Can you see it? Like, that's how it is. So I'm sorry, I was pointing wrong. So this is the very heavy doors, and this sits where the prosecution gallery is. And then this is kind of open over here. And then behind this door to the left, it's a double door here. To the left of that is where the defense side is. So it's just smaller. When Donna's brought in, follow this pointer, she's brought in from this side. So she's left in a holding cell downstairs. She's brought up in some back elevator or something with a bunch of deputies. She's brought through here. She's unshackled and uncuffed, but already dressed. So she's dressed downstairs and then brought up here. If you recall, when Charlie was beautifully convicted, this is the area right here where they fingerprint the new convict. Lovely place. Back here, there'll be a row of like 3 bailiffs. There's the bailiff here. He was in plain clothes today, by the way. I don't know why. The courtroom clerk, the clerk of court is here. The daily clerk, they change out. The assistant to Everett's going to be back here, kind of where this door is. And there's always the judge's bailiff, specific bailiff that they really work well with, is right back here. So they're standing here staring at you, growling at you, the bailiffs, which is their job. So if you go to the courtroom, no food, no drink. Big signs now on the door, huge signs. You cannot just walk in and out of the courtroom. You can only walk out there's a recess. If you don't make it back by the time the recess is over, you have to wait till there's another recess to come in. The first 2 rows on the defense side are blocked off. There's big pieces of paper telling you, I'm going to use this as an explanation because I can't find quickly a photo of it. Oh my God, that's old. But it'll do for now. So this is just before they probably remodeled some courtroom, but it's Leon County Courtroom. So think of that as that big heavy door right here. Prosecution, defense. This is even, so it's not our courtroom, but think of it back here, and the benches are smaller on the left side too. Okay. So the first 2 rows are taped off, reserved defense, and then the second row on the left side is reserved defense family. And there's like 3 taped pieces of paper. So there's really only, how many, Rebecca, was there? 6? 1, 2. I think there's only 5 benches on the left side, if Rebecca's still in here. The first 2 are gone. Right? The first 2 is gone with defense, and Jackie Fulford is afraid people can look over her tiny shoulders and read her laptop, which is completely misinformation. But anyway, first 2 are blocked off. On the right side, first row is pool. Pull camera, pull photographer, bigger media than me, right? So Democrat will be up here, maybe WCTV. They made WCTV, if you were not the pull camera, you had to move over to the left. What I'm pointing out to you is there are not going to be a lot of seats. Then the second row is the Markel. Then the third row is the state people. Like if Jason Newland had to sit there, so that's the third row. So then you only have, remember, there's only 50 people and they were tight on this side. So it was 12, 14 in that box, so 44 people. And the first two rows were kind of half filled. So I'm not discouraging you from coming. I'm just making you aware that there's a whole lot of people with a media pass now because of YouTube, and Judge Everett's very considerate of that. It's first come, first serve. So be there, be square. But media people, including myself, already have an acceptance. Like we're already vetted and already seen. So just be aware, it will be few and far between. So the earlier you get there, the more comfortable you are. Do not be like, I have cough drops. Don't be doing this with cough drops. Like if I have a cough drop, they will be in a baggie that's soft. It doesn't make any noise. And I will already have the cough drops out of the wrapper. Okay. What else? Bathroom breaks. The judge will take a morning break and an afternoon break. There is no other break. There's one bathroom on one side of the courthouse on the third floor. There's another bathroom on the other side of the courthouse on the third floor. Do not bring food in that courtroom. I'm not kidding you. You better, Isaac, who's the media guy, we were talking about it today. If you have an Apple Watch, turn it off. If you have a Samsung, you know, those Google thingies, turn it off. Turn it off. Any noise, you will be frog marched out of that courtroom. It's not even a joke. You don't want to be the first one to go. Everything, like today, I had my phone on because I could, but if you have go to sound and haptics, it needs to be off, slid. I don't know if you can see it. Slid across. Go to sound and haptics in your settings. No noise. Not a click, not a burp, not a chime, not a nothing. I just turn my phone off. I am allowed to have a laptop, but it's not a tablet. You will not be allowed to have an iPad because an iPad or something like that has a camera. You are not allowed to have any camera. Don't even try to get it past the bailiffs. Typically, I think last year or Charlie's year, they had 1, 2, 3 in the back, 1, 2, 3 on the side. So they had behind us in the back, there were 3. Then they had 3 here. They have the 3 here. They have one guy sitting in 2 people sitting in a chair outside the doors. You cannot get away with it. Some ass jack from some social media thing tried to take a picture. I mean, he was literally hauled out. It was not pretty. Unless you want a bruise, don't do it. I cannot remotely tell you. If you've been to other courtrooms throughout the country, this is not the one. Okay? This isn't it. It is extremely well run. I heard someone sent me a message today. I'm not outing people, but it said that it was weird the way it was done. It's by statute. It's the law. The judge owns the courtroom. He decides, and you will not make a noise. If he is joking with the jury, you better have something to put over your face if you start to laugh. You cannot laugh. You will be asked to leave. Someone's life's on the line. We don't have to like her, but we have to respect it. And you have to respect the jury. You have to be on time. You got to stand. You got to sit. You got to stand. You got to sit. There's hard benches, no pads. Don't be bringing, like, I'm sure people are going to bring pillows and stuff in there to sit on, but a lot of accoutrement, all it's going to do is bring attention to you. And I guarantee you that's the last place you want this. is to have attention brought to you. I coughed. And I have an acquaintance who's a bailiff in there. He's like, why are you so loud? So all I'm doing is gently telling you, do not think you can get beyond the bailiffs. There are cameras overhead. Can't really see them because this is so old. But there are cameras overhead watching everything you do because someone's life's on the line. The pool camera, there will be two. One pool camera will be where this bright light is, right? It'll be there. And there'll be one behind in the center that looks like a big GoPro. It's a tall cylinder with a drapery over it. That is the situation. So get there, be there, ready to go at 8 o'clock, have your stuff. You will not be allowed to bring food, drink, anything. Like, this is someone's life is on the line and needs to be treated as such. I have a laptop. The new media was told we were allowed to bring a laptop again. No tablets, no phones. Please turn your watches off for your own sake. If you recall, Ruth Markel, was removed from the courtroom because her watch went off and she didn't think about it. Inevitably, after a break, someone's watch is going to go off because you're going to turn it on to go check your stuff and you're going to come back and you're going to be grossly embarrassed. Like, I cannot even begin to tell you how embarrassed you will be. So just don't do it. Just don't even bring them up. If something is that important in your life, think about sitting in a courtroom for 8 hours before you go. Once you leave the courtroom, no guarantee you're getting back up. And I'm just telling you because other people might jump up in front of you. So that's all I have to say. You hate smartwatches. Hi, me entranced. So I just wanted to tell you, Molly says I would last an hour at most as this baby has no back. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I want you to all get something out of this. Please, 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 for all of our sakes, follow the rules, right? Follow the rules. It is very tight in there. Let me see how many people are on Isaac's media list. I don't know if you guys know how many people are coming. Hold on. Because they don't hide the numbers, okay? They don't hide the names. So 1, 2. They're all with WCTV, WTXL, True Crime News, News Nation Now, Law and Crime, STS, Courthouse, Court TV, Grace Wong, she's the head producer. Mentor Lawyers on the list. More Court TV. There must be 10 Court TV people. NBC, me, Pretty Lies and Alibis is on the list. More Lionsgate, which is a big like movie producer. They're on the list. Court TV again. NBC Universal. So big names. I don't know that everybody will be in. Oh, the AP is on the list. WTXL. I don't know who that is. I don't see. Obviously, what's her face and what's her bigger face isn't on the list. I think only 1, 2, 3. I don't even see Carl on here. Carl's not on the list. People who are not on this list are going to have a hard time getting in if they're media. It is. It's going to be a challenge. But not every day is going to, John is not on the list. He's not. I mean, I know his name. I don't see it. He might be under some other name that I don't know here, but I don't see it. But it says, the instructions No person may conduct photography, video, or audio recording in any area of the courthouse. Because jurors, it's the jurors' protection. To protect the attorney-client privilege and the right to effective assistance of counsel, there shall be no audio pickup or broadcast of conferences that occur in a court facility between attorneys and their clients. Well, then they shouldn't be speaking in the elevator. You know what I'm saying? Pool video equipment may be left in the courtroom while not in session, as long as the camera is zoomed in on the state seal and audio is off. This includes prior to start of proceedings while the court is in recess. With the exception of the reserved seating for the pool cameras, the victim's first and family and defense, seating in the courtroom is first come, first served. Should there be an issue with the available seating, contact the court staff. Upon entering, cell phones off. No device that takes pictures or captures sound may be operated during a judicial proceeding without prior approval. These devices include, but are not limited to, cell phones, cameras, digital voice recorders, tape, similar technology devices. A person who operates a non-approved device may have the device confiscated by security and may be asked to leave. You will be asked to leave. May is being very nice because you will be asked to leave and they will take your equipment. All media personnel and equipment is required to go to security upon entering the building, and some equipment may be needed to open and inspect by courthouse security. Pool cameras must be silent or as close to silent as possible. Camera mufflers should be used when necessary. No photos or videos may be taken of the attorney monitors or notes. No photos or video may be taken of the jury. A media room is available, but it must be vacated by 5 o'clock. Or as soon as the trial is in recess. The news media is responsible for ensuring the media room remains locked. Trash receptacles may be placed outside the room each evening for the cleaning crew. It is recommended that all items be removed when not in use. Should you choose to leave equipment, you are assuming responsibility. For the jury selection, pool camera is WCTV. The still camera is the Democrat. The pool camera is... for the trial is Court TV and the Democrat. So that is the rules. I am not kidding. They will frog march you out. Frog march you out. I do hope the boys have been in touch with their cousins in Canada. They are old enough to seek them out. I don't believe, but I agree with you. If Wendy gets arrested, we have a trial, I will be there. Patty, thank you so much for taking the time to explain this. Very helpful. Oh, thanks, Mia. Sometimes I think I'm boring. I really bore myself. So thank you so much. Might be. I think the Adelsons are sick. And yes, it's sad. They're bad people. The Markells are superb. They really are. I mean, they stand there and take, like, when they will show graphic images. It is a murder trial. They tried to get that out again with Donna's motions of the 150 motions that she had, but they're going to show them. It is graphic. It is his head. It's sad. No gasping. You got to keep your facial expressions under wraps. It's the truth. You got to. Carl said he would come for the verdict. Yeah, I don't believe. Try and to find a cure. Mention the hobbling and Roberta Glass's true crime report chat, and then I have to go after this. And she's, I said, no. I've seen the woman walk. No. Do not believe the hobbling. Do not believe the emotion. Do not believe the lack of emotion. Remember, Wendy was boo-hooing but never shed a tear. Do not, when you're watching these trials, here's what I try to describe. Who's the better salesperson? Is Donna the better salesperson or is Georgia the better salesperson? Because something's being sold today. A story is being sold. So decide who is the better salesperson. Georgia and Sarah Catherine, Josh Selman, Jackie Fulford, or Donna Sue Adelson. And once you understand that this is all a sales pitch, it's all a sales pitch. It's so much easier to decipher truth versus fiction. And the woman walking like that was fiction. Pure fiction. Because I've seen her skate across that courtroom. Jab says they're being educated in good schools. I'm sure they're smart young men. I can't imagine they've not done some research. Georgia and Sarah all-day chess match. It's just like we were talking outside. I didn't see Georgia first walk in. Rebecca did. She said she's in a plaid suit. We were talking about our monochromatic suits, that the jacket and the pants match, whether it has a pattern on the suit or if it's all one color, it always matches. And she always wears high heels. She's already 5'10". So she's a good 6 foot with the heels on. She's coming up against 2 attorneys that barely hit 5'7". So it's a play. It's all a stage. And Sarah Dugan, how she dresses, it's smart. It's conservative. It's put together beautifully. Her hair's down. The other one's Georgia's hair. She has those curtain bangs now. It's not just straight. She has bangs, but it's all put together beautifully. So think about it like that. Who's the better salesperson when you walk into a room? I used to tell that to my husband. We'd argue. I'm like, who's the better salesperson here? Me or you? It's me, dude. I'm the better salesperson. With the evidence that we've seen, Junebug says, I don't see how any jury could not find her. Oh, no, I don't either. I'm like, are we really here? Are we here like this? Imposing figures for sure. You want what Georgia is selling, but on a layaway plan. She is beautifully dressed. I don't know where you get a suit like that, but it is beautiful. Molly says, I'm here for it all day. The 2 blondes, they really do. They come in, they don't have big binders of bullshit sitting there. They have their laptops, a couple books, and they're ready to go. Who doesn't want that in their life? Sarah Dugan is a pretty lady. And Georgia is very pretty. She's also, she is intimidating. She gives you an eyebrow. You know you have an eyebrow. Thanks for everything, Patty. I know you're going to. I am. Thank you, Debbie. You are waiting till the 9th hour, Olivia says, to see if it will be delayed. There will be no delay unless somebody acts out in the jury room. I just don't see it happening. You don't like how Jackie dresses. Well, clothes are too big. The eyebrow. Yeah, she does do that. Hi, Carol. How are you? Big binders of bullshit. That's what it is. Did you see the picture? Did I get rid of it? Look at this. The first time I saw them come in, I thought it was so funny because this is theirs. I mean, binder after binder after binder. So much paperwork flying across that table. And then our dear Georgia and Sarah Catherine walk in with like 3 notes. So funny. It really is to me. But to me, it is. It'll be interesting to see what she wears tomorrow and the next day. But she's got this little ponytail thing, which I don't know why she's wearing a ponytail. To me, she looks a lot more, well, a lot softer with her hair down than she does with the ponytail. What do you guys think? Night, Wesley. I'm going to. Oh, really, Olivia? She was, Sigfredo was calling Harvey. I got to see that. I don't know why she's wearing a ponytail. It's a bad play. It really is. But, you know, look at her attorneys. They definitely know the case. Definitely know it. Those binders are probably all of Donna's orders of what she wants the lawyers to do. Georgia needs to be more aggressive. Hey, Jackson, how are you? Patty, I'm never boring. Oh, Jenny, I love you. Thank you so much. You should hear my head. You should hear in the inside of my head. It's not the same. They are blonde bombshells. Very smart, too. Doesn't she look tired, though? She looks really tired. The last time she's going to wear street clothes. Think about it. The last time. If the jury finds out she's a millionaire, they may wonder how she lost all her money. That was to be suppressed. You can't just say, "Are you rich?" If you're going to talk about the money, you have to do it kind of around the rosy. But you can't mention their money because that could be seen as a bias. So, did we ever get an update on Rashi? He has not been sanctioned as yet. You know. Let's see. She has blown Wendy's visit to the crime scene in prior trials. Jackson, it'll be fine. It really will. I promise it'll be fine. I like her, so I don't really care. Looks like she's been in prison for many years prepping for a parole. Is that trying to connect with a juror? No, I think she's laughing at something the judge is saying. The judge is witty. You just can't laugh. Wearing black is so severe. I thought she'd wear lighter colors. Me too. Thank you, Olivia. I'll take a look if I can. Pride comes after the fall. Our Donna had it all. Where is everyone watching the trial? I'll be watching it from the courtroom. And we'll see. Won't they have Mary Hall showing the family like before? That's where they were trying to suppress it. I don't know how much they're going to be able to talk about. I don't recall that hearing, but they did ask for some of it to be suppressed. Yes, they absolutely lied under oath. Wendy Adelson did. She lied under oath about how much money they have. Were her parents rich? No, they're not rich. Define rich, Wendy, you know. Yes, Roberta Glass will be streaming. I will not be in the courtroom till tomorrow afternoon. Thursday, I will be there when they bring everybody back. So Friday, I have jury duty. It is what it is. We'll see how it goes if they start the trial Friday or start it Monday. Georgia really wants Friday. She doesn't want to delay, and I don't blame her because anything can happen. How come Sigfredo has never testified? Because they've never made him. I mean, they could subpoena him. I mean, he's under subpoena. He's on the witness list, but I can't answer that. Or am I going to do a lunch live? Well, I'm not going to be there until after lunch, so I probably won't do it. I'll do it tomorrow afternoon. I barely missed this case. I really try not to miss, but I do have to spend time with Chris. I can't wait till they ask Wendy why she has not allowed the Markells to see the kids. I know. And she can't remember when in Charlie's case, like my mother had complete contact with the kids. They unfettered contact. Remember that? Meanwhile, your mom's sitting in a jail cell now. Can't believe we're finally here. I can't either. It's good to have you, Olivia. Thank you for joining us. I am not taking my ADHD riddled husband with no. Chris could never sit there. He would die. Yeah, he would not be able to make it in a courtroom. He can't even make it. Like, Chris, I can't answer the phone. Don't call me till 1 o'clock. He's called like 3 times. He's at home all alone. Hey, Susan Hicks, are you in here? Well, I must go because it's 9 o'clock. She's been sleeping a lot. Bless her heart. I am going to go home because I have to get up early day tomorrow, and I will be in the courtroom. If you'd like to join me, I will be in Roberta's chat giving you a play-by-play with my fancy-dancy Mac laptop. Phones will be off, so don't text me. Or if you text me, don't expect a response. I think that's the better answer. Thank you all so much. I'm turning my equipment off as we speak. Have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate all the new members. It's just amazing. I'm so grateful for all of you. It's just a blast for me to do this. Have a great evening. Thanks. Bye-bye.